What's up and welcome to another video from Urban Gardening with Gray. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about uncomplicated gardening. So without much further ado, here's our feature of the day. In previous videos, we've talked about seed germination, but for the sake of this video, we're actually going to be transplanting our seedlings that have already started to germinate. And now I know I've featured this in several videos before, but I really want you to take a look at this because this is how easy gardening can be. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. Check this out. This is just a cupcake container. My son's birthday was back in November. I've used this cupcake container at least about maybe 3 or 4 times to create my seedlings. And look at all that condensation that's building up on the top. Let's see if I can get a better angle. That's all just condensation. It creates the perfect little humid environment, making a mini greenhouse. And this has actually just been sitting on my deck, soaking up the sun. And now look at the seedlings that we have in here. I have a mixture of cucumber and squash, as well as one of my snow peas actually started germinating too. And then over here on the end, I have some spinach that's starting. So what I'm going to be taking today is the plants that are actually really tall, like for instance, the squash. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up out. And then these cucumbers as well. Looks like we got 2 starting there. So we're definitely going to pull that out to give them a little bit more room to stretch. Because as you can see, specifically with the squash, is tapping right up on the top. Now the cool thing about it, when it taps on the top like that, it creates pressure on the plant so it can focus more on root growth. All right, so yeah, that's what we're going to be transitioning today. All these leggy plants, we're going to transition them into some new soil and see if we can't add a couple more layers of soil to stop the legginess. For the purpose of our transplants, these are the pots that I'm going to be using. These are starter pots that, as you can see from the insides, I've used several times. I mean, this is zero waste gardening at its finest. I'm not buying new things every single season. I'm just reusing what I already have. Remember, zero waste is all about sustainability. Sustainability saves us money, right? So here's the soil that we're going to be using for today's transplant. This is actually just a mixture of compost as well as hay and leaves. These are things just from my yard. You can see the leaves are actually broken down into fine particles, as well as the hay. When they're broken down like that, the soil, when they're broken down like that, they decompose a lot easier, and then they end up not robbing your soil of the nitrogen that your plants are going to need. It actually ends up aiding and providing nitrogen. When you have big chunky leaves, they end up robbing your plants of nitrogen. But when you have them broken down like this, you're aiding in the decomposition process. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be using this to aid your soil. I'm going to start off by placing a little bit of soil down in the bottom of these pots here. There we go. Halfway deep. Then I'm going to place my plant down in there and then pack a little bit more soil up on the top. That's how I'm going to do with all of these. previous comment on one of my videos. One of my subscribers said I had golden hands, and I definitely appreciate that comment. But it's not so much that I have golden hands. Uh, it's just patience. And it's funny because I actually suffer from ADHD, but gardening, specifically urban gardening, is something that I do that allows me to focus. I hyper focus in on it and almost get to the point of tunnel vision. That's quintessential ADHD, right? But gardening is something that kind of calms my mind. You know, I don't know why we all have our different reasons. I'll take time here. Feel a little bit like Bob Ross. Happy little trees. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna transition over to our pot. Because we don't want to disrupt those roots too much. And there we go. But we all have our different reasons why we garden. But this is what works for me. It helps me focus. It's a skill set that I've developed over time. I know some of the folks here on YouTube, they kind of sometimes maybe talk over your head when you're gardening. They use words like permaculture and biodiversity and such. And, it can be a little intimidating at times. But just know that when you're watching my videos here, I'm a guy just like, I'm a person like many of you. This is something I just learned over time. I didn't go to school for this. It's just a hobby that I developed over time. And we're going to make a huge mess here. Well, let's go for it, right? Gardening is all about getting your hands dirty, right? Or your floor. So, yeah. So, this is just something that's soothing and calming for me. And plus, I love seeing the life. Now, granted, I do have children, but plants don't talk back. So, yeah, here we go. I'll pack that cell down there because we want a little bit of pressure. A little pressure is good. A little pressure is good because that's going to help strengthen your roots. But by adding these leaves and the hay into the soil, kind of helps it so it has good drainage, not drainage. I don't know what that is, but it has good drainage and it won't compact. Because if your soil compacts too much, roots won't get oxygen. Remember, plants do need oxygen as well. Yeah, we talk about soil and water, but it does need oxygen as well. Compact them too much, you'll kill the plant. The only thing you'll be growing is mold. There we go. All right. So that's one. C'est très bon. When you're transplanting like this, as you can see, I'm using this little micro shovel. It actually came with a plant stand that I bought. Excuse me, that was given to me as a gift for my birthday by my lovely wife. But it came with a plant stand for my house plants. And I love this little shovel because it makes it really easy when you're doing something like this, when you're doing these transplants. Now, if I didn't have the shovel, or if you don't have this shovel, no worries. Look at those roots. Boom. Right, easy does it. And boom. C'est très bon. But if you don't have this shovel, no worries. You can easily do this with like a kitchen spoon. Maybe a spoon you don't really use that often, or spoon that maybe sitting in the back of your kitchen drawer. So grab your spoon and make scooping out real easy. All right, there we go. Now let's add our new soil. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, gardening does not have to be expensive. It does not have to be overly complicated. This is not a special seed starter kit. This is honestly just a cupcake. The cupcakes or muffins? Yeah, same difference. They're about the same diameter. This was just a cupcake container uh, from a local bakery known as Walmart. We got cupcakes for my son's birthday, and I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm definitely using that. No, don't throw that away." So yeah, by doing this, you know, this is another plastic that's not going into a landfill, not going into the oceans. It's just being reused again and again and again and again. Um, all right. And now you want to leave a little room for your water, and you don't want to overfill this pot because you want to be able to leave a little room for when you add your water in. And boom, there we go. Number two, she's looking a little yellow, so we're gonna definitely give her a little dose under the grow light. All right. Next is going to be you. I need to get better with my labeling system. But again, it's that ADHD kicking in. I'll pull that off of there. That little husk. I can't tell from this husk. I can't tell if that's a squash or if that's a cucumber. I think this is cucumber though. So, yeah, if I was better with my labeling, I would definitely know. But from the leaves of the plant, kind of looks like a cucumber start. So we're going to go with cucumber. Interesting thing is, I just went to a local nursery. If you get the opportunity to go to a local nursery, support your local businesses. They definitely need your patronage. I know it's easy to go to the big box stores, but your local nurseries, they actually have sometimes a wider, healthier selection of plants that won't be overly priced. But my family and I, we took a little field trip with the kids out to a local nursery in Waxahachie called the Greenery. If you're in Texas, definitely, if you're in North Texas, definitely check them out. And I let my kids get some seedlings because they want to start their own plants this season. And my wife picked up several cucumber plants. And I kind of told her, I was like, I got about maybe 15 cucumber plants already germinating and from seed and ready to go. But, you know, it was $1.99, so it's like, oh, look at those roots. Oh, look at those roots. Yeah, those are pretty there. Those are nice and healthy. I'll place it down in a pot. But she wanted to get these cucumbers, so I went ahead and let her get the cucumbers. Because, I mean, $1.99, it's an awesome price. But, yeah, this season we're going to have cucumbers on deck. We're going to have quite the plethora. But it can't hurt. Only thing is, got to make sure we watch out for squash vine borers this year. Because it got me last summer and just broke my heart. I lost my watermelon, my cucumbers, all my squash and zucchini plants because of squash vine borers. Once I realized what was going on, due to my own error, once I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Squash vine borers had bored into all of those plants and destroyed them. There's videos I've seen circulating around about people placing, other YouTubers placing BT, which is a bacteria that you can purchase, a beneficial bacteria, injecting it directly into the roots, directly into the vines of your vining plants, and it'll kill the squash vine borers. Only thing is, I haven't tried that. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I haven't tried myself. Like when I used to be a teacher, I used to always tell my students, I will never tell you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So I don't know about the injecting the bacteria directly into the vine yet. Haven't tried it. I may try it this season. But there we go. Another mystery plant. I'm really leaning on the side of cucumber. Yeah, that looks more like cucumbers than those leaves. So we'll see once you get a little taller. Still one more little guy that I want to transplant. I'm gonna take him right here because he's standing up so well. I want to take him and put him in a pot as well. As you can see, this really is an easy thing to do. So we're trying to be gentle here. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Look at those roots. Yeah. Alright. There we go. And I've determined after looking at these seeds several times, or the seed husks, these are squash. Kept saying couldn't tell if they're squash or cucumbers. I apologize, guys. And it's 100% squash. Cucumber seeds aren't that big. But hey, we make mistakes, right? It's life. There we go. I'm just gonna add that soil down in here. Get in there. There we go. And just like before, gently pack it down in there. And now all of these babies are ready for a little bit of water. Since we're transplanting and you're kind of jostling the roots around, you want to be mindful that there is a little bit of root shock that might go on there. That's why I was trying to be as delicate as possible when moving the roots. A way to ease that would be by adding some rooting hormone, but I think these guys, I think they're strong. Earlier I was talking about squash vine borers. That's another reason why I remembered that these are actually squash. Next time I will label them, but I remembered that they're squash because I wanted to start my squash indoors this year to make them nice and healthy and strong. Again, to stay away and protect from those squash vine borers and those moths that lay their eggs in the soil. So there we go. Look at that. She's good to go. All right, now we transplanted just about everything we're going to transplant today. I still got one more squash plant here, and maybe this guy over here that's not in frame. And then we got a weed growing up here. We're just going to pop that bad boy out of there. It's funny. It's been closed the entire time, but a weed still found its way. I got a couple more seedlings that's coming through. As you can see, a couple more budding. And then the spinach over here. But I am going to rinse and repeat all of the seedlings that I pulled out today. I'm going to place some more soil in there, plant some more seeds, and keep it going. That's the way I figure. You can never have too many plants, right? So we're going to keep the process going. Wasn't that from a movie? Wasn't that a song? Circle of Life, right? So yeah, we're going to keep it rolling. So now it's time to add our soil more to re-up. So what I'm going to do is just the soil mix that I created with the leaves and straw in it. I'm going to just crunch it up just a little bit more. Get a nice mix going on here. Break those leaves up a little bit more. But, you know, I was thinking about something earlier. Talking about that weed. How it found its way inside my mini greenhouse here. That's a missed opportunity. I should have quoted Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. Yeah, that was a great opportunity to be like, life will find a way. Remember that? Yeah. All right, so now we've chopped up those fibers pretty good. And while you're staring at this miniature greenhouse, and I'm not filming this part, another missed opportunity. Here we go. We're just going to add our soil in here. And get it ready for the next batch. And now, what am I going to plant in here? I'm not sure. Spring is on the precipice. It's right around the corner. Right now here in Texas, where I'm located, North Texas, the temperature today is about 50 some odd degrees. So I could definitely still plant out here today, but I still have perceivable frost until the end of the month. So I want to kind of err on the side of caution. So I don't want to lose my babies. But with that being said, I have quite a bit of starts that I can place in the soil. So honestly, I don't know what I'm going to be adding in here. Because this year I would like to try to grow as much as I can indoors and out. Also, I have plans for a greenhouse that I want to build out of out of acrylic plastic. So yeah, I want to try to see if I can grow all 365. You know, I know different plants have their growing seasons, but as man, we know how to manipulate. I like that. We got a pecan seed there from my wonderful group of squirrels that live around here. That was a little gift there, right, from the squirrels. But yeah, we can manipulate the conditions for growing. Because remember, like I said in one of my previous videos, you are not. A seed has everything it needs to germinate. It's like an embryonic sac inside that seed. The only thing you are changing is the only variable that you're controlling is the conditions in which are necessary for that seed to germinate. So, with that being said, I gotta think, I don't know what I should start in these. But you know what? This would be a great opportunity. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing if you find my planting techniques and gardening tips helpful, beneficial. Maybe even share it with a friend. But do me a really good favor. Maybe give me some suggestions. Suggestions? Let's try that again. Let me give me some suggestions maybe in the comments of what you think I should start as well. I already have a plethora of tomato plants going, cucumber, squash as we've seen here today, as well as some watermelons, some Tommy apple melons, and sunflowers. Not to mention, what else do I have? I really need to get better at garden planning. There we go. All right. C'est très bon. I believe we're good. Oh, as well as peas. Yeah, leave me a line in the comments and let me know what you think I should start in my mini greenhouse next. I definitely appreciate your feedback. I love that interaction with you guys. There we go. All right, now here are our little guys ready to go. And now here on the side, as we can see, these are some actual cucumber starts I have here. I started those out and see how shallow the soil is in there. Now I'm going to add some more soil to it to help strengthen that plant out. So we got our squash all over here, and now we have our cucumber plants. So let's grab our soil, start adding just like we did with our what did I say was in? Squash. There we go. These were all grown from seed as well. Just adding more of this soil and compost blend. Boom. Yeah, that'll work, baby. All right. Move our mini shovels out of here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this out by adding my mixture of soil and leaves and straw. If you have any questions or thoughts about anything that you saw here today, again, make sure you drop me a line in the comments. But I always like to end my videos by saying a little sentiment that I have developed while creating this gardening channel. And it states, it goes, enjoy life, enjoy family, and enjoy your garden. And the reason why I always sign off with that is just because I truly believe in that statement, because like I told you before, gardening is a calming outlet for me. when you have so much that goes on in your everyday life, and you know this and that, and so much going on, it's good to just be able to relax with some plants, right? Growing up as a kid, I never thought this would have been something that be so relaxing to me. But I digress because I learned this from my grandmother. I remember when we planted our first tomato plants together. Um, I learned this skill set from her, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend that time with her. And now this is why I pass this knowledge on to my kids as well, because that was a cherished memory for me. And hopefully, with my children, it'll be one that they eventually will appreciate as well. I mean, they do. My kids, they love gardening. As you can see in some of my previous contents, uh, my son even goes so far as to water the inorganic or artificial plants. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. It's a short video. I catch him in the restroom um, watering an artificial fiddle leaf plant. But yeah, it's a sentiment I truly believe in because you know enjoy what we do here while we're on this planet. So enjoy life, enjoy your family, because time shared with them is important. And then enjoy your garden, because I feel like the garden is a culmination of all those things. So, that being said, enjoy life, enjoy family, and enjoy your garden. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your day.